Hello everybody. I'm on the demo road. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this well or not, but there we are. Roll up the window so you can hear what I'm saying maybe. La la. It's about 20 miles an hour right there. Other offshoot roads like that one. So I normally go out and when I do a day shift walk, I usually have either a specific place I want to check out or something I want to say. And today's topic is something I want to say. So I'm going to do it while I'm driving. I know you won't be able to see anything unless it comes out in the road, but maybe we'll see a moose or not. I don't know. A deer. Now, recently, Dee did a live, and obviously, she was not impressed with some of the chat messages that came over. She takes it very personally when someone tells her how she should be doing something, or tells her not to swing the camera around, go slower, we can't tell what's out there, we can't see. She's not out there for us at all. She's out there because she loves to be out there and show us things. And we, specifically the subscribers, on a live, make her money. When you hit like, that gives the algorithm, once she goes off live, it gives the algorithm saying, oh, everybody liked this, there's 300 likes and 325 views or whatever the heck it is. It turns out to be, if there's a good percentage of likes, it puts it higher up on the algorithm, and if there's a crappy percentage of likes, it puts it lower down on the algorithm, and less people get the chance to view it, because it's the views that make her money. I was looking through the screen and I thought that thing on the right looked like a Bigfoot about to step out, but it's not. It's a shadow. Pretty funny. So yeah, it's when we are on a live and everybody puts out a view, hits the like, the more likes we get percentage-wise, the better her algorithm will work out, the more money she's going to make. That's all there is to it, period. Now, everybody thinks because of people like the ghost hunters, or Cody and what's his name, or the other ghost hunters, Project Fear, whatever the heck, maybe it is Project Fear, whatever it is with Dakota Layden and them. I love that show too. And Kentucky Ballistics. There's a lot of things out there where people are making quite a lot of money off of YouTube. Now, they also, because YouTube doesn't pay what you think it pays, they're on Twitter, Patreon, and a bunch of other things where they also make money. You aren't making good money off of YouTube unless you have over 1 million subscribers. And we are nowhere near that. It's growing, but we are nowhere near having 1 million subscribers. So she makes a lot more money off of us doing Cash App and giving her money over YouTube, which she gets 55% of, by the way. It's not the other way around. She gets 55%, YouTube takes 45%. But that's how YouTube makes money, and YouTube could not pay her money unless they were making good money. So yeah, they take almost half. But you can't say anything like you could try to make it your full-time job. Another road. You could try to make this your full-time job, but it's iffy. Unless you have the knack for showmanship, or a flair for theatrics, which Dee has neither. She just blatantly has started to get some really good evidence that is kind of indisputable on a live. She doesn't make enough. She makes anywhere from $100 to $300 a week off of YouTube, and that's not hardly even the gas money it takes for her to drive around, and electricity to recharge all of her lights. She has a squagon and a bus that takes tags, insurance, and all that crap. And that YouTube does not cover any part of what she's doing for basically for herself. So she includes us. So she gets a little bit of help off of YouTube. So until she gets a sponsor of some kind, there's mile marker number 4. Until she gets a sponsor of some kind, she's not going to be making a large amount of money off of YouTube. People get, oh, you have all kinds of money, and you get anywhere from $100 to $250 maybe dollars when she does a live, depending on how many people send her money in Cash App. Because everything you see that comes across the screen, she's only making half of that, basically. If somebody sends her $50 and it shows up on the chat, she's really only making like $30 of that. And then she has to pay the taxes on it at the end of the year. So when you're talking about all of that, she is not making anywhere near the money people think she is. Just because she's monetized on YouTube doesn't mean she's making money hand over fist. Look at my crazy little page, and I'm linked to her name directly. But most of the people that I have as subscribers are also subscribers on Dee's page. And tonight, I think I'm going to go out and play a video like I used to. If I can dig up all the stuff, and since the move I haven't opened up all of my boxes and stuff, I'm going to try to dig up all the stuff so that I can play a video out there. If nothing else, I'll play it on my... I'm hearing something weird. I'll play it on the yeah, whatever. whatever the hell you call the little screen there. And maybe I won't set up the whole projector and everything unless I can find it. I'm not sure I have a sheet other than what's on my bed. I don't have any of the extra stuff I used to have when I had my other house. I just got this truck that I'm in, and I goofed around with, I got a 5x8 trailer, and if it wouldn't fit in there jam-packed, then I didn't bring it. And everything else went in the dumpster or yard sales or whatever. So I literally downsized my entire life into what I could fit into my truck twice. But back on the subject of D, that was upsetting to her in the extreme. After she was already upset, somebody said something else stupid. And if you're a moderator out there and you're also subscribed to my channel, the very second that you see somebody that is not a member say something stupid, just hide that one chat. I mean, if they say something on there that is, you know, rage bait or anything like that, and they're just trying to be a troll, then of course get rid of them forever. Get rid of that, you know, hide the person in the chat indefinitely. But you have the power to click on any chat that comes up, even a member, and hide that one chat. Just that one sentence, stupid sentence that they wrote. Hey, stop. And especially if they type it 3 or 4 times. Stop moving the camera around so fast, it's making me dizzy. We don't care. Shut up. All you're going to do is piss Dee off. And she might boot you out boot you out forever, even if you're a member, if she's mad enough. And it could happen to any one of us. I know that Icy was doing moderating the other day. I don't know, a week and a half ago. And somebody said something about their two people on there got into like a little argument. One person said something, hey, you shouldn't be saying that, blah blah blah, and then D sees what the second person write, that person should be moderated out. And then she says that's what we got moderators for. Icy's on the road driving, and she had to go do it herself, and she says, I don't know why I have moderators, or whatever she said. She even gets mad at the moderators when she has to deal with somebody that says that dumb shit. I have suggested to her to actually shut her chat off. Don't even watch it. It's like she likes to say thank you when people send her money and all that stuff. And as a moderator, I say thank you to everybody that I see spending their money, giving jewels, because I don't think it shows her who gives jewels. It doesn't do anything special on her screen like a super chat does. So I say thank you and everything else. If you're doing it just so D says your name, then she'll get less money. That's all there is to it. If all you're doing it for is your own recognition, and you're sending her $5 or $10 just to have D say your name on a live and say thank you directly to you, then probably you shouldn't be sending it, because money is great and she doesn't care. You know, she'll spend your money on lights or gas or whatever she has to keep her self going. But you should not be doing it for yourself. You should be doing it for her, giving her stuff. I know super chats allow you to say something so that, yeah, we love you and all this other stuff. I mean, yes, it's nice. But it's her watching our chats go by, and if the moderators are not simply going to hide chats that are potentially going to upset her, then she should shut her chat off and not try to read any of them, because she isn't keeping up with any conversation. She'll pick one chat out, happen to be looking at the phone and see one chat out of 1,000, and it happens to be a joke because it's a running gag that 2 or 3 or 10 people are typing, and she happens to see one that's off color, and you're gonna catch a ration of shit, and then we're gonna have to tell her, no, it's not like that. This is a joke. It's an ongoing, and it's just distracting for her. She should just shut that shit off and not deal with the chat at all. Then she wouldn't even need moderators, because it will never be rage bait for her. Because she's not going to go back and read all the chats and go back and watch her own video so she can read all of the chats. She doesn't do that. I read every single chat that comes across These Dark Adventures 1, the original page, because that's where I am a moderator. I go back, and even if I don't catch the live, I read every single chat. And if need be, I'll hide the person then. I'll do it a week, it could be a week before I get to watch that video. But if I see a chat there that no other moderator caught, I'll hide that person. Don't have to hide the chat, because no one's going to go through and read all the chats. They're just going to watch the video after the live. But I'll hide the person so they don't do it again. And that's a week or however long after. It could be a year after they made that chat. As long as those chats show up, the moderators can go back and hide that person or hide that chat anytime. Dee should not have to worry about any part of that if she has moderators. I know I do it, and I wouldn't doubt that to a certain extent Lydia does it. But the moderators do, especially Lydia and Angie, I think. They tend to watch the screen very intently, and they do not watch the chats. I basically make the chat the whole screen on my computer, and I do not watch what Dee is doing. I of course listen to her, because that's, I can still hear them, but I don't watch the video. I don't watch the live. I don't watch what she's doing. I watch and I read every single chat while I'm doing it, because that's my job. And she's gotten mad at me before because she thinks I'm too nice to him, because I will say, hey, whoever, be careful, don't say things like that, or I'm gonna have to moderate you, basically. I can get rid of you altogether, or just hide that specific chat. I give a warning sometimes when someone's starting to get a little spicy, or saying things like, your lights all suck and things like that. I mean, she's kind of sensitive about that. Or when I know that there's new people on and they're seeing it for the first couple times or the first time, and they will make a suggestion about getting a microphone for her camera or any of the things that we've been, years either telling her or she's already explained that her to Bluetooth anything to her phone causes issues with live stream. It also causes issues with the battery life of her phone. I don't know if you've went on a longer trip, 3 or 4 hours, but if you have your phone sitting in your center console and it's running the music to your car and it's also running your map in your car, and of course it's looking for the background, it's keeping connected to the cell phone towers, your kids in the back seat might be using it for a hotspot. Your phone goes down quick when your car's using the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi all at the same time. Your energy goes down quick. So her having an extra microphone or even a plugged in one, all of that stuff is being used by her phone for power, especially if she plugs in a microphone. Bluetooth takes power, the plug takes power, because then the microphone's running off of the camera battery or the phone battery. The camera's running, the audio's running. It's constantly connected to the cell phone tower, so it's going on at least medium mode. And if it starts to pixelate, the thing goes on high power mode, trying to keep a hold of the cell phone signal. And your phone goes down fast when that happens. Especially if you're hooked to Bluetooth. You can Bluetooth a speaker, you can Bluetooth the microphone, all that stuff that she's running on her phone all at once. But a new person doesn't know that we've suggested that. They don't know that she's been doing this for years. A lot of people think they have good suggestions that, of course, hundreds of other people have suggested. And they are good suggestions, they've just been dealt with. Why don't you have better lights? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? First off, if she goes higher than 3,000 lumens, she can't get any eye shine, because you can't look at 4,000 lumens, especially if you have night vision. I don't know if you've ever tried to look at your own flashlight. Like I have the 4K slide light. That's, if I turn that on high power, that's bright. I'm almost double the brightness of her normal lights, although it doesn't go down to a small point. If you put it on high power, it gives you a ton of light and you can see really far. That's my main light, and I put it on medium, which is 2500. I think it might be 3,000 lumens, but it might be, I think it's 2500 lumens on medium. It goes 1,000, 2500, and then 4,000. But it won't stay on 4,000 more than 30 seconds. But that's a $79 light. And like most lights, I don't think she thoroughly understands. I'm going to have to do, I do a lot of her background research for her. I send her links to research things that I've done. I research rechargeable batteries. I research problem, especially the problem with the background noise and nobody being able to hear it. I researched that a lot, and I still research it because there's only one setting for her as a content creator in YouTube to keep YouTube from doing it. But YouTube seems to do it anyway. And a lot of people don't realize that when you're watching a video and you pull down from the top, like you're going to turn your flashlight on your phone, or the Wi-Fi on or off, if you go to that screen, at the very top, if there's a video running and you have an updated phone, a newer phone, you're going to see a setting to deal with background noise. And most people want to get rid of the background noise so they can hear what the person's saying. But what you want to do is turn that off. You want to turn that setting off so that you can hear the background noise on your phone. Unfortunately, I have not found a setting like that for a computer because everybody's computer is different. But I did find the one for the phone. So as long as you're running a video, you can turn that off. But some phones, you have to do it every single time you get to a video. You have to go to that setting and turn it off because the default is on. It doesn't necessarily remember that setting. Which is why when we talk about, hey, some of us can hear the background noise and some of us can't. D has the background noise not managed by YouTube. Her phone is an Apple, and iPhones might, by default, try to get rid of background noise. I know when she got her new phone is when she started having these problems. But sometimes we can hear it and sometimes we can't. So I tried to figure out if it was a setting on her phone and everywhere I looked, Google and Apple both say that there's no setting for getting rid of background noise on a video in the actual Apple settings. It's whatever program you have that is running the actual video either does or does not have a setting for background noise. And YouTube does. It's in studio. I showed it to her. She showed it to you. And she has that shut off, and sometimes it turns itself back on by itself. There's a setting for background noise and there's a setting for video quality. She had video. There's a bear. I don't know if I got him or not. Way up as far as you can see, way up there was a bear in the middle of the road. I was only there for a second. But anyway, I told her to shut off anything that YouTube could possibly do to. Bear was right here somewhere. He ain't gonna be there. I almost drove into the ditch, dumbass. Well, this is my first bear up here. Anyway, it just lets me know that was a good sized bear too. I bet that went 200 pounds, 250 pounds. That was a good sized bear. Anyway, her phone and video settings I research as best as I can. I run a Samsung S24. My phone does have background noise reduction for videos, but only if I'm doing a video like I'm doing now using just the phone. If I go live, it uses YouTube settings. It turns the phone settings off and uses the YouTube settings. I do have control over things like zooming in, and I have brightness settings, but that's about it. There's no other settings on my phone that I can get to while I'm running a YouTube video. On this one, when I'm doing this, I can hit the settings button and all of my settings come up. I can put little icons that show up on people, the same thing when you do a video call. I can have little ears show up on you or whatever. I can do all that stuff on running a video straight off my phone. But as soon as I hit go live on YouTube, none of those settings take effect. It's all YouTube settings, and there's almost none when I get on that screen. But show that this road is 16 or 18 miles long. It's going around the backside of Long Pond, which is over here on my right hand side. I believe, yes, I'm going to have to turn around because there's look at my rear view mirror here. Let's see if I can show you. There it is. You can see that right there. That's what I see out my back window. Nothing. That's what I see out my rear view mirror a little bit. There. That is the road that takes me all the way out to Long Pond at a place called where Churchill comes out into the Long Pond, Churchill Stream. There's a camp there, and that is directly across the lake from my brother-in-law's camp house. He lives there. It's actually a camp, but it's where he lives. But I'm just rambling, saying things over and over again. I do her research, and then I send her suggestions, and with every time I send her a suggestion, it's like, this is just a serving suggestion, and then I show her the research that I found and send her the link so she can read it herself. And sometimes I can tell that she's like, it's my page, I'm going to do it my way. But she knows I'm just trying to help her out and help the channel out, because, for example, if you remember when she first got the outro, which is the red letters and then the claw comes in and scratches down the screen. It says D's Dark Adventures, and then you see the Dogman claw come in and make a big scratch in it. Well, that thing used to run for like 12 seconds. And it's at the end of the video. Everybody knows it's the end of the video. But it sat there until the end of that little song. Din it, din it, din it. It sat there till the end of that song. Well, YouTube, as part of its algorithm, also keeps track of how many people watch the entire video, and the watch time compared to the video length. So I told her to cut that down real short, because people are going to shut it off before the video ends, and it matters if people watch it all the way to the end or not. So if you're watching this and you're subscribed to Dee's page, make sure you watch until the video shuts off. You'll be helping her algorithm a lot of the length of time that people watch her videos. The more people watch it, the longest, 98, 99% of it. I also tried to get her not to put the coming up part, because if you fast forward through the coming up part, you also are considered that you did not watch the entire video. So when you watch your video and it has a coming up part of it, you know that it's anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes long. Just get up and get a drink or whatever and let it run. Don't fast forward through it, just to help her out. That's another help. I tried to get her not to do a coming up thing, but she insists on doing it, even though most people will fast forward through that and her algorithm will go down, her view time will go down. That's an old road. I used to drive down there a lot. I used to go partridge hunting down there a lot, but it's old now. Anyway, other parts of her videos, people watch all the way to the end of her lives. I mean, people saying goodbye and stuff like that. But I've told her that don't say goodbye and then keep talking, because a lot of your people that are watching the live will bail out. The people that really like and watch her lives, but are not invested in the chat part of it, because if there's 300 people, there's very rarely more than probably 20 or 30 of us that continuously chat. So a lot of those people are watching, but the second you say, okay, I'm back in my car and I'm going to cut it off here, this happened, that happened, make sure you send your screenshots in and all of that stuff. And then if she doesn't sign off within 10, maybe 15 seconds of her telling people that, okay, I'm gonna let you all go and I'm gonna go get something to eat or whatever, the second she says that, the casual viewer that's not invested in it or is not a subscriber will simply shut her down and go look for another video, because they just want to see a Bigfoot and they don't want to listen to her standing around her car talking to us. If she goes another 10 minutes or 20 minutes after that talking to us about why she doesn't do the Halloween candles anymore or whatever, it's because she doesn't have enough time and she doesn't make enough money off it. But if she goes on and on and on and on for 15 minutes, all those people that left cuts down her algorithm. So I tried to tell her, if you say okay, that's about it, and you got 10 seconds. You just hit the X button. Don't keep talking. Even if you hear something, shut it off and then turn it back. Don't turn it back on, because then you might have a short 5-minute live that maybe only 40 or 50 people came back to watch, and maybe you only got 20 likes off of that, and that's going to kill your overall algorithm too. So just record it, yes, but make it a short later. Don't go live again. So that's just harming your algorithm, even though she likes to use us as fake protection. Obviously, we couldn't do anything. If something just walked out of the woods and snatched her up, we'd be like, oh my God, we could call 911. Now, I used to know every place where she goes, but now she's in a couple of new places where I don't know specifically where she is, because I don't live there and I haven't been there. I know a lot of the places that she goes, but the more recent ones, I wouldn't be able to call 911 because I don't know where she is. But everything I do is specifically designed to go ahead and make her more profitable, I guess I want to just say. Not trying to make her videos better or anything like that, but I keep a mental watch on things that she habitually does that could possibly lower the algorithm. She has the new channel now, and she was all depressed. She only made two she only made 2 videos so far, and the first one, because she did not change the videos that she was presenting, she didn't pause them, comment on them, change them in any way. They weren't her original. They don't consider that her original content, so they won't pay her for that. And she got like 140,000 views on that, which is like $140 or whatever it is. She got 140,000 views on that one, even though they would not monetize that video in that format. So I researched it, sent her the information. She has to comment on it and significantly change the video so that she is either commenting on the video or using it in some way so that it is different from its original content and she makes it her own. So there, now she went and green screened herself into the bottom corner and she makes little comments on it. And this video, she was obviously tired, middle of the night, and kind of lackadaisically we're saying, I don't know, the thing still has perfectly good eyes, yet the rest of it is decayed. That wouldn't happen. But she doesn't say it with any emotions, and she's not giving a specific I believe or I don't believe this video. It's like she always wants to say make up your own mind, but if she's doing her thing and attempting to watch these videos, then she either needs to critique the video so that she gives her honest opinion whether it's AI or not, and she could say I don't know, that's in between, that could be AI, or this does or doesn't look like AI, but what she says is I'm not really sure, you have to make up your own mind, and you can't do that. And you can't do it in a monotone voice, like I wish I didn't have to do this crap because this takes so long to stop the video and do and then rehash the whole thing and splice the whole thing together. And yes, it's a lot of production, but that's why they pay you money, because you've actually spent a lot of time on that kind of thing. You gotta be upbeat. Or or downbeat. I don't know. Maybe you hate every single video that's not yours. And when other people do it, they have a hook. Like, what's his name, that puts a mask over his face and then just blatantly points out stupid shit in videos. She liked the fact that he did his videos anyway, and that was the one about the cabin where she looked under the bed but then didn't get close to the bed with the phone. You know, certain things that, you know, she doesn't try to debunk anything, mostly because she's in there alone and she knows she didn't put anything under that bed, so if it looks like eyes, she's not going near it. But she does not think in the manner of investigating what she's seeing. So if you think that she thinks and everybody else thinks that something walked right out on the trail, and it's happened before, walks right out on the trail within 150 feet of her, and you can plainly see it there, and she can see it with her own eyes, and she's looking at it with the camera not zoomed in, and you can actually see it, that's pretty close. Do you think she's going to walk down that trail and see exactly what that was that walked out on that trail, whether it's a human in a monkey suit or an actual Bigfoot or dog man or something that nobody's ever seen before? You think she's going to walk out there and do that? Not a chance on earth. She has a son, she has dogs, she has work, she has all these things on her mind that she's making money for, but if you think she's going to risk her life trying to figure out and get a closer shot of these things, you are totally wrong. Me, on the other hand, yes, I will walk right straight at it with the phone up and the light on, saying, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm not going to hurt you, I just want to see what you are better. I just want to see you better, or whatever. I don't try to be aggressive, but I'm a human male, and everything on earth should be afraid of a human male. Even if you're a gorilla, an elephant, humans of any size or stature are dangerous. And if you hurt one of them, then a whole bunch come and try to kill you, and they will kill everybody that looks like you. Lions know it. I don't think sharks think that way, but that's what I use as the example. Is I hope I don't get rear-ended. You can't see. Okay, my example with sharks is one shark bites one person, kill them or not, and 5,000 people go out there with boats and fish for sharks, and anything that's even close to being big enough to attack a person, they kill it. So one shark bite would cause 300, 400, 500 shark deaths, cutting open the bellies to see if they can find pieces of human being in there. Oh, and then finally, we caught the shark and we did away with it. That shark will never hurt anybody again. Well, guess what? Neither will probably 300 or 400 other sharks. What I'm looking at is what looks like to me a deliberate X. That's for another day. I have puppies. Oh, I can't see shit. I have puppies in my lap. Puppies over here. There. Oops, see hair. I have puppies. Anyway. Lions, same thing. Tigers, same thing. you have a man-eating tiger and all of a sudden everybody goes out there beating the bush, running down in a line, or even catching whole forests on fire, so every single tiger that runs out of there, they shoot them. There's no way of telling which one did it, so they kill all of them. Humans are like that. You hurt one, God forbid, they're going to try to exterminate all of you. This is the helipad that I've shown before. I've never been down that way in the road, but I'm close to the other end, so I don't know. Stop pissing D off. Don't type things that act like you're trying to tell her what to do. Don't type things criticizing her camera work or her gear. She's trying her best out there. Like I said, she has a kid that doesn't always live with her, and he's old enough to take care of himself most of the time. She's got 3 dogs. She's got 2 jobs. Bills like all the rest of us do. And she's trying to put together enough YouTube stuff to supplement her income. So this is taking up all of the extra time that she has for herself. This is what she does for herself. Zoom in out a little bit. This is her self-time that she gives to us. You know, she takes it away from Captain David. She brings him out there, but like most men, not necessarily something that he likes to do, but she likes to do it, and to be with her as much of the amount of time that he can, he has to do what she does, because she is a very strong-willed person and doesn't give him any room to say, hey, I don't want to go out to your live tonight, I want to stay home and rest, and I want you to stay with me. David is not going to say that. And I don't think doing it more than once, I mean, you need to do it once. He wants to go out on some time where he would rather bring her out to dinner and surprise her for an early birthday or something. But he also knows that it's basically a third job for her. So of course he's not going to tell her no or try to convince her to stay home with him. Oh, did you see that? A woodchuck run across the road. I love driving down this road to see amazing things. Lately I've been seeing a lot of deer. This time I saw a bear and a woodchuck so far. And it's not really even evening yet. It's 5:31. So, yeah, I had a lot to say, and I imagine it's really none of my business, but I see her getting frustrated. She's having problems at her work, both of them, both jobs, that are out of her control. It has nothing really to do with her other than the fact that she still has to work there, and the work environment is becoming more and more hostile. Neither one of her jobs are like working in a grocery store or working for a large firm. These are smaller places she works for, and when they have personal problems, when the owners have personal problems, everybody that works there has personal problems, and it can affect how long they let you stay or how long they have to make you work for, whether it be overtime or not. They don't care if you have other places to be. And that can severely affect, can't see anymore. That can severely affect your job and your life. A little better. That could, as you could think, if you work in a mom and pop store. Try to get this thing to redo itself here. I keep putting it up so that it can't see the bug splatters if it sees them, it unfocuses. But then I got it in front of my face and it's hard to hold out there. But you know what I'm talking about. Her jobs are not super stable. Where she lives is not super stable. They're trying to update a trailer park into double wides and trying to upscale it, so they keep raising rent. She's trying to deal with that. She has a teenage son. She's got 3 dogs, cat. She's trying to juggle her whole life. And she is very easily now, especially, upset. So she could read that just one odd, crazy sentence that somebody says, something, even it could be something even, I wish that he wouldn't post things like that, it upsets me. Now she thinks that somebody wrote into the chat, I'm at the road now. Now she thinks that somebody wrote into the chat something that upsets them, and now she's blaming the moderators for not doing anything, and how come I got to do this myself? And now she's looking back in the chat for something somebody shouldn't have said. And she's trying to do that on a phone, which is nearly impossible. You can't make the chat big enough to read the whole thing at any speed. And the chat that she read has nothing to do with what somebody said on the live chat. But she picked that one chat out of the last 400 chats that she hasn't read, and she instantly goes off about things like that because she's very sensitive. She wants everybody to get along together. She doesn't want strife on the chat. She wants everything to go nicely, and that's why she has moderators. And I know she won't, because she wants to say thank you to everybody that sends her money. But if she's going to spend 20 or 30 minutes ranting on a live instead of investigating, then literally she should not have turned her chat on. She's swearing, and like I said, there's a lot of people that are not subscribed but like to watch the videos, and when she goes off like that, she's liable to lose a lot of viewers, and not necessarily the ones that type anything in the chat that she doesn't like. Most of her viewers have never put anything in the chat and never will, and that's most of her viewers. So if she goes on a rant like that and people just decide, well, I'm not going to listen to this crap, or I have children, so I'm not listening to her swear for 20 minutes. And then she reinforced it by putting a short video up of her rant again on a regular channel. I don't think I would have done that, but she is her own worst enemy sometimes. And if she just turned her chat off so she can't see that crap. She would never see it because she does not go back to the lives. Like I said, she does not go back and read all the chats. And she gets literally thousands of emails a month, and she scrolls through them, and there's no way she can read them all, because most of them just say, "I love your channel, you're doing great," unless she recognizes a name. And she should have somebody that she trusts be a secretary for her and just forward her the most important ones, like a business, so she doesn't have to do it herself. It would take less time on her, but of course she wants it. She wants everybody to feel that she is completely invested in her chats and in her emails. And if somebody sends her money, she gets upset that she can't say thank you. And some of what she does, trying to be invested, is actually hurting her channel. And I can't blame her. And she can say, I don't care what this, and I don't care what that, and I don't care if I just go down to whoever's subscribed and I only have 400 views, I'm still going to do this. She won't. She will still go out in the woods, but she'll start taking pictures rather than videos of what she sees, because then it will strictly be for her, and she won't post any of it if she gives up on trying to make money. It's too much work for her. It takes up too much of her time. So she will be more like me and be a casual observer. If she's not trying to make money, she's not going to go out 2 or 3, 4 times a week. She's not going to do lives. If it's not making her money in some way, shape, or form, she has to quit it. It's taking up too much of her time. And I guess that's what I want to say. So I know not very many people watch my videos, 40 or 50. Usually, even though I have 300 something subscribers, eventually, like in 2 or 3 months, I might go up to 300 views. My view time is usually about 5 minutes. If they see that I'm on a daytime thing, and it's kind of funny because it tells you video by video what the percentage is, how long they watched, how long the video was, and it gives you all this stuff so that you can write it down and make a graph and only do the types of videos that make a lot of views. My daytime videos, because I talk a lot and there's almost no way you're going to see anything cool in the daytime videos. I'm usually just explaining something. Most people only watch for 3 to 5 minutes, no matter how long the video is, and then turn it off. So to go all the way to the end, and I know I tend to repeat myself over and over, but that's the way I teach. What the heck was that right there? Did you just see that happen right there? That was weird. That was almost like something stuck a light colored arm out and then went back in. That was weird. What the hell was that? Anyway, I don't know. I try to help. I do the best I can. I know Dee doesn't watch my videos unless I tell her to watch my videos, or unless she's really bored, she'll watch one. When I came up here and started doing videos again at nighttime, she watched those, but she won't watch this one. Or if she does, she'll yell at me. What the hell? What are you talking about me for? Well, you're the whole reason I got into this, and you're the whole reason I'm into trying to see if Bigfoot is real for myself. And in about a week and a half, I'm going to be driving 20 hours to get to you so that we can do investigations together. So there is that. I moved to Maine. It takes me 10 hours to get back to where I did live, and then it takes another 9 or 9.5 hours to get to where Dee lives from there. And I can't go the little bit cheaper way, a little bit cheaper to go through Canada, because in New York the extended driver's license, where you had to give all this information and they do all these background checks on you, acted like a passport for Canada and Mexico. But in Maine, it is simply a form of ID that shows that you had a federal background check done. It does not allow you to go across the border. You have to get a passport, and in order to get a passport, you have to live in your residence for a certain period of time, and I don't know if I'm actually at 30 days or not. They also don't accept P.O. boxes as proof of residence, and I have a P.O. box because way up here where I live, they tend to have a lot of snow and they knock down your mailbox a lot, so most people have P.O. boxes up here. So all of my mail is going to say P.O. box. So when I do that, still looking for that thing to move again. I don't know what that was. Might have been a bug on the windshield. Anyway, I need a passport to go through Canada, and it would not be technically any faster, but it would take a lot less gas because I can go straight over to Ohio, or in between Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, and then go straight down to where she lives rather than go down to Boston and come across through New York, which is a big swoop. That's like 750 miles just to get back to New York where I was. Where if I go across the top of New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire to get into Maine, the upper Maine where I am, it actually takes 2 hours longer, but it still only takes 1 tank of gas because it's only 390 something miles. But you're going through towns, you can only drive 55 a little tiny bit, and all that happiness. So you're spending less gas, you're not paying any tolls, but you're spending more time to get back to where you were, rather than doing road miles at 80 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour or whatever. Spend a half a tank of gas more and $36 to get back to New York from where I am in tolls. So roughly 90 bucks, almost $100 in tolls and gas to go the other way, or drive 2 hours longer and take 12 hours to get back to where I was. And then I have to go another 9.5 hours to where she lives, and the only way to get there in any reasonable amount of time is to go down the thruway, which costs me more money. And the toll roads in Canada are very much cheaper, and the speedometer, or I should say the speedometer, the speed limits are very much slower. 100 kilometers an hour is about 60 miles an hour. So it's faster than driving down the back roads going across from Watertown to Maine, Watertown, New York to Maine, because you're on a highway doing 60 rather than doing 45, 30, 25, 35, 45, 55 for 10 miles and then back into a town again and again and again, and trying to follow Route 2 over Route 2A and finally to Route 201A in Maine. To go over and do that, it takes 12 hours for you to get from Syracuse, New York to Jackman, Maine. Doing that so that you don't have any tolls. It takes 11 hours to go through Canada from Jackman, and it's still only one tank of gas, but you can drive a little bit faster, but you're driving a little bit further because you have to go up into Canada to do it. And then instead of being in Watertown, New York, you have to go all the way to the border to Canada, which is another 40, 50 miles. And then another 20 miles to get to the highway that takes you below Quebec. So it's longer, but it's faster. The same as, it's very much longer, but very much faster if you go down through the toll roads almost to Boston and then come across in Massachusetts. It's a big swoop going down way too far, but it's, you know, almost double the amount of miles, but it's 2 hours faster because you can drive so much faster. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to go out and see Dee in a week and a half, the weekend of the 18th of July. We just went through the 4th of July. You know, Jackman actually had a respectable 250th anniversary of the United States fireworks display. It was very nice for a very small town. And there was a lot of people there because a lot of people that live near here, I say near here, but within 100 miles of here, like to come down and see fireworks, even if it's just in Jackman, because they don't have fireworks in Canada like that. But it was fun. There was probably 400 or 500 people watching the fireworks display, and it was nice. It was really nice. Alright, I'm gonna get off here, get on this road, drive home, and see if I can make sure my lights are ready to go, and see if I can find my projector. And if not, I will use my tablet. But yeah, I've been pointing the phone out here for a long time, and you can see that there's almost no traffic. And this is Route 6 and 15. It's the only other road in Jackman. 201 goes north to south, 6 and 15 goes off to the east in Jackman, and that's it. That's the only two paved roads other than the roads in town. What are you doing? What are you doing, puppy? Stop licking me. Okay, so I'm out. You guys have a great day, and I may or may not post this. I'm going to watch it first to see how stupid I sound. So you have a wonderful day, and see you later. Bye.